First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is protests break out in LA over ICE detentions. So I'd like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today, let's have a quick news article here by Reuters. It said Trump deploys National Guard as Los Angeles protests against immigration agents continue. Let's get a little bit more. It said here's a summary of what's going on. It says here, Border Kazar says National Guard to deploy on Saturday evening. Vance called protesters insurrectionists. Two U.S. officials say Trump has not invoked the Insurrection Act. At least 44 migrants arrested Friday on immigration violations. So that's a little summary of what's going on. It says here, Los Angeles, June the 7th, Reuters, President Donald Trump administration said it would deploy 2,000 National Guard troops on Saturday as federal agents in Los Angeles face off against a few hundred demonstrators during a second day of protest following immigration raids. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned that the Pentagon was prepared to mobilize active duty troops said if violence continues in Los Angeles, saying the Marines at nearby Camp Pinterton were on high alert. Let's get a little bit more. It says federal security agents on Saturday confronted protesters in the Paramount area in southeast Los Angeles, where some demonstrators displayed Mexican flags. A second protest in downtown Los Angeles on Saturday night attracted some 60 peoples who chanted slogans including ICE out of LA. So that's pretty much all I want to get out of this. What we're seeing right now, that this could be the beginning stages of what? A civil war, civil unrest, sedition among men, rioting, protesting. We're seeing this left and right. And who's been warning you about this left and right? What, the men of the Lord? We constantly been warning you about this, this time of trouble that we've never seen before, the beginning of what? Of Jacob's trouble. So now we're seeing that these people now are constantly they're rising up, uproars of the people because of these ICE raid, this deportation thing that Donald Trump has been pursuing ever since he been sworn into office. And we see that these things going to constantly pick up, and we seeing right now that that a lot of people right now are rising up. So we're seeing this pretty much every day. They say they were trying to get their quota up to 3,000 a day of these so-called illegal migrants, but we already know what this is getting ready to call a great division. We already seeing that the nation is divided. If a nation is divided, it cannot stand. So right now, in LA right now, there's a lot of it's just like a war zone. And now they're trying to get back control, calling in the National Guard. Now they're saying it's even possible that the Marines are going to get involved. Exactly what this man wants. So when you look up the Project 25, this man wants total control, bring forth the draconian laws, also Tartarian laws, also, this total control. And one thing about it, to come in and, to announce martial law and also and lock everything down. So this is exactly what is getting ready to happen it was just constantly pick up, but we already knowing, what the Bible said, that it's going to be, they shall be like madmen sparing none, insurrection, uproars of the people, sedition among the people. A lot of these things going to happen. Also, what? It's going to be a lot of what? Bloodshed, it's getting ready to happen. So it's getting ready to be a lawless time. We constantly warning you left and right. It's going to be city against city. American against America, and so forth and so forth. So this place is getting ready to what? To reach its boiling point. So right here, once again, it said Trump deplores National Guard, as Los Angeles protests against immigration agents continue. So we see it right now. It's on the live. You can just see it just like a war zone. They're destroying things. They're hitting, picking up rocks and hitting these vehicles, these ICE vehicles with a lot of things happen, setting things on fire. A lot of things is constantly breaking out. We already know if the Marines get involved, we already know there's going to be some bloodshed. And once it starts, it's not going to stop. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. In the middle of the Lord, this is exactly what we've been warning you about, left and right. It said, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So it's about to get real. We about to reach the boiling point. It's about what? All hell to break loose. All hell is about to break loose a lot. So we see it right here. It's been on for what? Ever since yesterday. It's just been, everything is constantly what? Popping off on a normal day. These things are just happening. Man, I got videos to show. It's a little 44 clip right here, a little 44-second clip. Right here. Let's look at a little bit here. It's just like a war zone. See, the northern tribe, it's popping off. It's starting with the northern tribe, but we know it's going to spill over into the southern tribe. So, things are getting ready to pop off. We constantly warning you about it, left and right. Let's start here first. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 28. So we seeing right now that LA is looking just like a war zone. So it's going to constantly pick up and it's going to spread, in every place, in every city. It's coming near you very soon. It's coming right here in your own backyard. And one thing about it, we already know that they have these sleeper cells already in place. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And one thing about the mental law, we constantly been warning you about these pending dangers. Jacob trouble. It is at the door. We constantly warn. And who will be in trouble? The Negroes, the Latinos, the native Indians. That's who we constantly warn you. See what's going on right now. The Latinos right now, they're bucking up. Tribe of Issachar. It's gonna constantly get worse and worse. Tribulation, anguish. Sorrows, persecution. These things come upon death and destruction. So now let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 28, go straight to the point. This is what we've been constantly warning you about. Left and right. Now these things are coming to pass. In that day they shall know that a prophet was among them. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8, he said, the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evils and of pestilence. So that's exactly what we've been warning you about. These things is constantly happening. We warn you about World War III. It's constantly what? Picking up. We warn you about evil time, ill time, which in fact is what? Jacob's trouble. Sedition among men. Kill or be killed. City against city, brother against brother, American against America, so forth and so forth. It's going to get ready to be a lawless time. That's what we constantly want. Personally, and these everywhere you look at some type of outbreak, here or there. The diseases are constantly popping up all over the place. So hey, it's here, man. It is at the door. So let's read this in the NLT. Said the ancient prophets who preceded you So, and me spoke against many nations, always warning of war, disaster, and disease. Exactly right. So the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So one thing about it, in that day they shall know that a prophet was among them. When these things come to pass, what? These prophecies. So we constantly seeing these things are happening right before our eyes, unfolding. And the one thing about it is going to get worse and worse. And also our salvation is at the door. Verse 9 said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So you going to truly know that the Lord sent these men, which in fact are the men that's in the highways and the byways, the ones you scoffing and mocking each and every day, saying this ain't gonna happen, that ain't gonna happen. But guess what? It's happening right before your eyes. And a lot of our people are still relaxing in their lead. But one thing about it, in that day, when these things come to pass, they shall know that a prophet was among them. So now, let's get this right here before we start today's video. Let's go here to Matthew chapter 12. Matthew chapter 12, let's get one more, because we seeing right now the nation is divided. If a nation is divided, it cannot stand. So let's go here to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 says, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So that's exactly what we're seeing left and right. We're seeing the beginning stages of what? Civil unrest, civil war. We already seen these movies. They already put it in the movie, Civil War, Leave the World Behind, with the Purge and so forth. So these things are getting ready to happen right before our eyes. It's been engineered and manufactured from the left-hand side, but what? The Lord is in perfect control. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? And the Lord had not done it. Hey, man, we're here, man. Let's read it in the NLT. He said, Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 in the NLT, he said, Yahweh knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. So that's what we're exactly seeing. We're seeing America falling apart right before our eyes. Flee out of midst of Babylon. How do you do that? And this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, it shall sustain you in times of trouble. It shall be a stronghold in times of trouble, the secret place of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So that's what we've seen, the beginning stages of civil war, civil unrest, sedition among men, the beginning of sorrow. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Verse 26, he's saying, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. So how shall then his kingdom stand? So how can his kingdom stand? We seeing the Edomite against Edomite, American against American. It's getting ready to be a race war. We're seeing what the Latinos, the tribe of Issachar. And also we're going to see that Judah's going to get it popping. You already know who shall rouse him up. So once this happened, they already got everything in place right now. So the stage is set. All things are ready. We're seeing things unfolding before our eye. A lot of people are still relaxing in their lead, still think that they're a good case, still thinking that this will not affect them. This is going to affect everyone on the planet. It's getting ready to be a global event that you have never seen before. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, the hour of what? Testing, the hour of what? Chipping. These things are coming into play, and it's what we're constantly warning you about, left and right, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. It is here. It is at the door. So now, let's start today's video, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
hate to say this, but there will be bloodshed. There will be bloodshed, and if you can't sense that, I don't know what to tell you, but there will be bloodshed. It seems like these people want to see that. I'm just looking at some of the footage that's coming out of California right now, and I saw a guy that was riding on his motorcycle, and he had a Mexican flag on the back. Then I saw some representatives walk up to this door of this facility that was housing immigrants. As they were showing their badges, they're still knocking on the door to get in, and so in the comments, I wanted to see if they got into this facility, and the comments said no. And of course, by now, y'all should know that the director of ICE has now announced that Trump has okayed for them to move in Marines. Bloodshed. They're not going to stop until they see that. Now we see ICE agents going viral for popping up in cities or at schools or at ceremonies or at court. It's become increasingly violent. Ever since they popped their ass up in Minnesota and the residents kicked their ass out, I honestly feel like they have a point to prove. Know that they've made major mistakes, including arresting people who had legal documentation and arresting one of their own ICE agents. Know that they're deploying Marines, whether it's done by accident or on purpose. Something terrible is getting ready to happen in California.
I can't handle this, y'all. This is crazy, yo. I didn't think this was about to affect me like this. But, our neighbor's school, y'all know I work at a school. Fuck. Our neighboring school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that. They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are... Fuck, yo. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden, a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got like off of a soft lockdown. And, parents had to run out because they don't have papers. And they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, oh my God. This is not right. This is not right, yo.
The United States is approaching a line that if crossed, things will never be the same. And if two things that were threatened this week actually happen, then we're off script, and this could be the start of the end. First, on Friday, the Defense Secretary is quoted as saying, the United States Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support law enforcement officers in Los Angeles. And if violence continues, active Marines at Camp Pendleton will be mobilized. They are on high alert. If federal troops use force against U.S. citizens and Americans start dying at the hands of their own military in the streets, there's no turning back from that level of aggression. The second thing that happened was the governor of California threatened this. The Secretary of Defense is now threatening to deploy active Marines on U.S. soil against its own citizens. This is deranged behavior. And then said, Californians pay the bill for the federal government. We pay over $80 billion more in taxes than we get back. Maybe it's time to cut that off. If California follows through on that threat and stops sending tax payments to the federal government, that's a move we haven't seen since the 1860s. So if either side acts on these threats, we're not just talking about political crisis, we're talking about open conflict. Because when one side sends troops and the other cuts the money, that's not a disagreement. That's how civil wars begin.
Civil unrest in LA is insane right now. People are sick and tired, and they're finally fighting back. And to the point to where they're standing up for themselves. They're standing up for what they believe. And I, on one hand, applaud that. So bad that Trump had to send out the National Guard. Or you might not look at it as biblical, but it is nation rising against nation and kingdom against kingdom. This is fighting within the same nation. Like this in the past have led to civil war. We expect people to do when ICE is acting as bounty hunters and hunting anybody that they even think remotely looks like they are undocumented or illegal. Into classrooms where kids are learning to try and pull kids out of class because you may think that they're illegal or that their parents are illegal. It's about time that somebody fought back. It's about time that we seen a protest because this, from the beginning, was wrong. To a point to where you can't just walk on the street and just because somebody isn't white, try to deport them back to a different country just because they look like they may be a different nationality. This needed to happen. This needed to happen to expose ICE for everything that they've been doing that is so unconstitutional. The city is next at this point because at least LA fighting back. No other city fought back. No other city. Now this might inspire other people to fight back.
So now we're seeing right now that these things are being, it's more prophetic now. We're seeing what's getting ready to happen. You know, this is going, just like he said that, you know, this need to happen. Yeah, it needs to happen. Because one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. You know, the men of the Lord, also the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Abishai, this is what we've been looking for. You know, we ready for this place to be over with. You know, DTA, Abba, chant this place down so we can get our kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. We're sick of this nightmare. And one thing about it, we already knowing that starting LA, it's going to go like a domino effect to all these other major populated city that where people of color live. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting very close, man. These things are coming full tuition. So now let's go here to 2nd Esdras. A quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Let's go here to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. We'll start up at verse 14. And it reads that, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. Verse 15 said, for the sword of their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. So that's what we're getting ready, the beginning stages of this. You know what I'm saying? We already know in the modern day sword is the gun, also all sorts of weaponry. So we're seeing right now, everything is tense after what the boiling point. All hell could break loose. So one thing about it, you know, we said one people should stand up and fight against another. So this civil unrest, civil war, uproars of the people. These things are happening. There ain't no sword in their destruction draws near. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So right there, when you go into that word sedition, it goes into what? Rioting, protesting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things, uproars, you know what I'm saying? Civil unrest, civil war. You know, a lot of these things are right here in front of our face. They're not regarding what they kings or their princes. We've seen in that, I think the second or third video, whereby they was throwing rocks at those ICE agents. You know what I'm saying? So they fed up. You know, a lot of people are sick and tired. You know, and these things are getting ready to what? Escalate. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes, man. You know, they're not going to regard law enforcement. They're not going to regard the military. They're not going to regard the government official. They're not going to regard each other. It's getting ready to be a lawless time. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And also the Lord is bringing forth what? Judgment right before our eyes. So it has begun. Let's start back up at verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? These mandates, these lockdowns, these unrighteous decrees that they are getting ready to authorize. We're seeing it getting ready to happen. So you know, when these military gets in here, they can call what? A military lockdown or martial law, you know, right before our eyes. And also they're going to be having these checkpoints. We'll not be able to go into this town or city or this state. That's exactly what they want, to make this place out of police state. Exactly, you know, this is a part of their plan, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So this is what's getting ready to happen, you know, total lockdown and total control. That's exactly what they want. Verse 18. It said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So exactly what's getting ready to happen. A lot of houses are getting ready to be what? Destroyed. You know, people are going to be what? Afraid, very afraid of vexation of spirit. So we seen in that other video where the man was crying and he was telling about how They was at a graduation, and these ICE agents raided that place. They ran out and left their children. A lot of people gonna be afraid. A lot of people gonna be weak or feminine. Travailing like a woman with child, like he was. He looked like he was very feminine. And very afraid, and he will be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, because we just at the beginning stages. People are crumbling like a cookie already. So it's gonna be great death, great mourning, great sorrow. Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. You see right there, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. No pity. People going to be getting slaughtered. Just like the lady said, it's going to be bloodshed. So, we already know that, hey, man, the blood is getting ready to run red like a river in the street. It's going to be so many, the body count is going to be great. We constantly warning, a lot of people keep playing games, but all the games about to be over. Still relaxing in their league, still talking about some damn holiday or some goddamn birthday or doing this and that. You better get prepared. What's getting ready to come upon this earth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about a time of trouble that we've never, we constantly warn. We'll sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. What are you going to do when you don't have any internet, no power, no water, no food, no resource? It's getting ready to be a brute beast. People going to be just like animals. Cannibalism going to set it. Starvation going to set it. A lot of things are getting ready to happen, man. Your children is going to get killed right in front of your face. Your whole family, entire family, including you. These women are going to be raped to death. Ravished. That's what we're constantly warning you about. A lot of people think America cannot be touched, but guess what? The Lord is saving the best for last. And you know what I'm saying? And one thing about when America go, everything go. The end of the world, the end of an age, the end of this man wicked queendom, this rulership. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you love it here, you get ready to die here. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to rule, you get ready to die. You're not getting beamed up. You get burnt up. It's plain and simple. You're not seeking the Lord, you're getting ready to die. That's what we constantly warn you about. But you don't want to hear those things. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. We'll call on Jesus' cross. Will he save you in times of trouble? Things are getting ready to pop off. Salaki, this in the spirit. Let's go here. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19. Let's get a little bit of this. This is exactly what we get ready to see. Insurrection, sedition. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, city against city. You know what I'm saying? Neighbor against neighbor. Man, all sorts of things happen, man. Man, I'm telling you, it's popping right now. It says here, Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2 says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, American against America. It said, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. So exactly what we're seeing, you know what I'm saying? So the modern day Egyptians are the Americans. So we seeing right now, they're rising up one against another. So this is what they want, this race war, civil unrest, civil war, protesting, rioting, looting. It's already was reports that they were breaking in these stores already. A lot of things are getting ready to pop off. So we knowing once they applaud this, the Marines, we knowing that things are getting ready to get very, very critical. So once it starts, it's not going to end. The Lord is going to end this nightmare. We cannot wait. We ready to get the hell out of here. Our salvation is at the door. So this is exactly what we're seeing is lining up just like clockwork. So now let's go here. Let's go back to Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's drop down to verse 30. I think it's 32 if I'm not mistaken. Second Ezra chapter, no, let's drop down a little bit more. Let's drop down to verse 37. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37 say, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Verse 38 says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, in 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pain compass her womb, which pains when the child come forth. They slack not a moment. So that's exactly what we see in the birth pain. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of sorrow. These things are constantly picking up. They're not going to slack down for a moment. We constantly seeing it each and every day. Verse 39 says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. Said, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So exactly what we see in these plagues are not slacking down left and right. These events, these calamities keep popping up left and right. Things are constantly picking up. And also it says here, the world shall mourn and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So exactly what we see left and right. Jacob's trouble is out the door, and also the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. It is fast approaching. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whether you believe it or not, we don't give a damn. Verse 40, it said, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battles, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." And out of the Bible said, "Oh my people, hear my word." Who is that? The Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indian. Hear my word. A lot of people right there, they have eyes to see, but what they see not. They have ears they have ears, but they hear not. Because what? They're not spiritual right now. They're still seeing things are happening, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's nothing is going back the same. This place is finished. The Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. That's what we're constantly warning you about. Left and right. It's time to wake your asses up. And seek Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, because we are running out of time. And out of the Lord is getting ready to bring forth supernatural intervention. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be like pilgrims upon the earth, moving from place to place. Wherever the Lord lead us, and out about the Lord will provide for us. The Lord will sustain us. The Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power. That's what we constantly longing for each and every day. How long, oh Lord, we ready to get the hell out of here. So what we coming upon these times, man, very, very quickly, very fastly. They're approaching. A lot of people are constantly relaxing in their lead, still being prideful, still being self-willed. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe this. I don't believe that. Well, it's happening right before your eye. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So now let's go here to Jeremiah. Let's go here to Jeremiah. We get one more, we'll close out. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 30. Jeremiah chapter 30. And we'll start at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. And it reads, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. So wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned unto paleness." We coming upon that time. We keep warning you left and right. So that guy in that video, he was crying just like a woman travailing with child. Oh, why is all this happening? Oh, yeah, it's going to be more than that going to be happening very soon. Verse 7, it says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. None ever shall be again. Said, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Who shall be saved out? The 1/3, the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the Israel of the Most High will be saved out. And Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. And one thing about it, the Lord is going to save that 1/3 remnant that was loyal to him. When you go back to Genesis 1 and 1, you know what I'm saying? The Lord David was already preordained from the beginning. The Lord is coming back, for his house, the house of David, the true believers. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we've coming upon this time, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. The Lord is not coming back to save everyone. The Lord is not coming back to hand out candy and shake hands. The Lord is getting ready to do a whole lot of unaliving. The Lord said, "I come not to bring peace, but a sword." That sword goes into judgment. The Lord's getting ready to bring forth this judgment like you have never seen before. Let's get one more and we close out. So Jacob trouble is fast approaching. Also the hour of temptation, that grain of rice, the MOTB, World War III is jumping off. It's going to be just like a whirlwind. The Lord said, "Behold, I come quickly." He's coming quickly. And his reward is with me. Whatever, out is good or bad, you're going to receive a reward. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, hey, we're here, man. The Lord's getting ready to set this place on fire. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time." And one thing about it, who is that devil? Who is that red devil? You know what I'm saying? For Genesis chapter 3, you know what I'm saying? He's more subtle than any beast of the field. We talking about the so-called white man, not white, red. Genesis 25 and verse 25. The first one came out of red. That same old red devil is getting ready to make one more swipe, his last and final attempt. you know what I'm saying, to try to be in control. But one thing about it, he's in for a rude awakening. The Lord's getting ready to cut him off forever. He's getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, he will be totally eradicated. And one thing about it, that's what we're constantly longing for each and every day. The Lord is getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So once again, you know, we're seeing that we're here. And one thing about it, we're seeing that the prophet is stand on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So that's one thing about it, is that we're seeing that we're very close. These Bible prophets are speaking loud and clear. We're seeing that these things are happening right before our eyes. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. It's not tearing anymore. It's happening right before our eyes. And the Lord is very close. Very close. And also, he's shortening the days for what? The elect's sake. You know, amen. We're here, man. We constantly warn you. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is protests break out in LA over ICE detention. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.